This move, which Satik taught on the carotid artery, applies pressure and is called a cross choke. It takes 10 seconds to lose consciousness with this move. That's why Satik had said to count silently in your mind. Hoban starts counting, but he is surprised when Toon tells him that Hoban's legs aren't on top of him. Toon realizes that this is Hoban's first real fight and tells him that Hoban rushed it. A flashback shows that Satik had already warned that new fighters should remain calm and pay attention to each step. Hoban understands what a big mistake he made because he forgot the basic things, and Toon pushes him forcefully, making him hit the urinal. Toon is impressed with Hoban's tackle and cross-choke, and Spencer thinks about how close Hoban was to winning. Toon says that he intentionally let Hoban take him down to take his shoes. The audience also understands this, because a pro doesn't fall so easily. Everyone is shocked when Toon starts wearing Hoban's water shoes. Sandiak had already said that if the audience can't stop Taekwondo fighters from kicking, they have only one option, to run away, because when they kick with full force, it looks like a trick. Now Toon has worn one of Hoban's water shoes and says that now he will be able to use his kicks properly. Bomi doesn't want to watch the fight, and Kim understands because Hoban is ignoring his calls. Kim tries to explain that this time Hoban is fighting a pro, but Bomi says she doesn't care. Just then, Kim reveals that Hoban has landed a move. Bomi is surprised and gets interested. The move was the tackle and cross-choke, which makes her think that maybe Hoban is won. Kim knows this isn't true because Hoban messed up the last step. Bomi gets angry when Kim turns off the stream, but he says it's better for her not to watch. Spencer gives Hoban courage, but Hoban now realizes the gravity of the situation. Toon intentionally let him try all his moves to take his shoe. A month of hard work went to waste. However, the audience still believes that Hoban can win. Hoban himself admits that he has no chance and apologizes that he'll have to give up. Just then, Spencer reminds him that he needs to earn money. Hoban gets motivated and thanks his audience because he has now received their messages. The audience also enjoys it because they see that the power of money has made Hoban stand up again. Hoban remembers that a Taekwondo fighter cannot attack with full force until they use both feet. Now that Toon has worn the water shoe, he will kick with his left foot to avoid slipping. Hoban gets a little courage and thinks he just has to tackle Toon again. But just then, Toon looks at him intently, and Hoban understands that Toon is still far ahead. Toon kicks him, and Hoban remembers that Sandiak had said that a Taekwondo fighter's kick makes the opponent's mind go blank, and that's what's happening. Everything in front of Hoban's eyes blurs. He can't breathe. Spencer tries to bring Hoban back to his senses, but Hoban now doesn't know what to do. He thinks that maybe he should just attack, but then Toon kicks him again. Hoban tries his reliable calf kick again, but Toon counters it. Sandiak had already said that things would get worse because Taekwondo moves can attack from any angle. Toon understands that Hoban's dominant leg is his right one, so he forcefully steps on it. Toon says that he didn't hit too hard, so the leg isn't broken, and Spencer begs him to stop. Now Toon uses his most stylish move, which is the back kick, the only move in which the fighter turns their back to the enemy. Spencer watches in fear as Hoban is completely defeated. Toon says that Hoban is lucky because if he had used his right leg, Hoban wouldn't be alive. Now he prepares to take over Hoban's YouTube channel and tells Spencer to be ready to work with him. Spencer pleads with him to stop, but Toon gets confused because the fight hasn't even started yet. It is then revealed that Spencer was actually begging Hoban, not Toon, to stop. Hoban stands up again, although all the viewers can see that he is barely alive. He remembers that Sandiak had said that even if a back kick doesn't land perfectly, it is still dangerous. That's why Hoban had prepared a body that could withstand such an attack. Full of self-confidence, Hoban stands up to fight again. He stands in the narrow stall of the toilet and reminds himself that he has to control the environment and neutralize Toon's kicking power. Spencer says in fear to stop or he will die, but Hoban just tells his viewers to stay tuned. Spencer wonders, is money really that important? But Hoban remembers what he is actually fighting for. Now his confidence is back, and he tells his viewers to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. Toon says that Hoban is standing in the stall so he can't use his kicks. Hoban says that he thinks he can win this way. Toon replies, "Now I will prove you wrong." Toon delivers a back kick, but Hoban's real plan was to dodge that kick. Hoban pulls himself up and takes Toon down to the ground. He uses all of his core strength and throws Toon over his shoulder. This move, for which he practiced everything, is now completely successful. This technique is the baseball choke, and now this move is landing perfectly. Hoban was nothing to Toon, like a toy with which he was quenching his thirst, but now that same toy is filling him with helplessness and shame. Toon remembers his first defeat, the moment he first tasted failure in a fight. And now Toon taps out. This is the most humiliating moment for a fighter, when he gives up in front of everyone. Spencer jumps up with joy because Hoban has defeated the person everyone calls the devil, but he is surprised when he sees that Hoban hasn't stopped yet. If this fight was in a ring, the bell would have rung by now, but this is a street fight, and the inexperienced Hoban has gotten so lost in the choke that he can't see Toon's tap out. He is still counting down from 10 and can't even hear Spencer's voice trying to stop him. Unfortunately, adrenaline has jammed all his senses. Now only one voice is echoing in his ears, that of his sensei's, Chicken Man, Sandiak. Sandiak had taught that a street brawl is not a martial arts competition. Do not back down until the enemy is unconscious. If you don't perform the baseball choke correctly, the enemy will get up again. When Hoban finishes counting to 10, he finally releases Toon, who is now passed out. The viewers can't believe their eyes, and Hoban declares victory. Toon had also lost to a baseball choke in an MMA tournament before, and since then people had started asking, is Taekwondo useless in MMA? The person who defeated Toon at that time was none other than Kim. Toon regains consciousness and sees that Hoban and Spencer are arguing about whether to leave him in the toilet or not. Toon is filled with anger, but he is surprised when Hoban says that he is only worried that Toon's watch fell off and that Hoban could see that the watch meant a lot to him. Toon gets annoyed and gives Hoban another push, saying that Hoban won so he can keep his YouTube channel. But on his way out, he says that if he meets again, he will regret it. Then, Spencer notices that Hoban is soaked in sweat. Hoban remembers that girls don't like the smell of sweat, but luckily, he has an active Aura body spray. He tells his viewers that this spray can be found in any store, and fans go crazy when they realize that Hoban is acting live. Both friends celebrate because their dangerous and viral fight is over. Now the rest of the work is for the editor, who will turn this entire live stream into a video. However, the editor, Gil, is a little worried because Hoban was also badly beaten. She posts the video and gets 3 million views almost instantly. Hoban thanks his audience. He has now reached 19,900 subscribers. Hoban and Spencer were happy that they hired Gil, but little did Hoban know that this video would be the beginning of the biggest tragedy of his life. Bomi is watching Hoban's video. Then, a strange man repeatedly calls her cute. The man is very tall and asks Bomi for her number. Bomi refuses and just gives him the thing she ordered. He asks for her number again, but Bomi flatly refuses, so the man leaves. The other people working there talk about how that man has been coming here frequently lately. Bomi thinks that Hoban had helped her when Pico was bothering her, but now she regrets that she left him alone that day. A little later, some butchers have difficulty lifting heavy meat. Just then, that same tall man comes and lifts the meat easily. Everyone is surprised, but his attention is only on Bomi. He repeatedly thinks about how cute Bomi is and thinks about how he can make her his own. People around say that his name is Wong and he's very good at Korean traditional wrestling. Wong then sees a video where Toon lost. He looks at the viral hit YouTube channel and thinks that if he defeats the guy in that video, his own channel will also become famous. Meanwhile, at school, Spencer wonders if Hoban is okay because a back kick sent him to the hospital, but nothing much happened to Hoban. Actually, Hoban has trained himself very hard. Still, Hoban remains a little worried. He feels that he has always been a victim of bullies, but Toon was a little different from others. Hoban doesn't think Toon is as bad as they thought before, but Spencer considers this madness. Hoban remembers Toon's facial expressions and wonders if he will meet Toon again. He wonders what Toon would be like now. Spencer says that the look on Toon's face when he passed out is going very viral on social media, and if he creates his own YouTube channel, he will get 200,000 subscribers instantly. Hearing this, Hoban immediately takes back all his thoughts about Toon because he doesn't like to take advantage of someone's appearance. On the other hand, Gil reminds herself that she has to give up some habits, like talking like old people and suddenly starting to sing. Then some mischievous boys scare and tease her and record her reaction video. Gil asks them to delete the video, but they threaten that if they don't keep quiet, they will upload the video immediately so that their channel gets views. One of them jokingly says that if they do that, Hoban will come. Then they all pretend to be scared of Hoban's hit and don't get hurt move. The mischievous boys laugh at Hoban's fighting technique and think that it will never work in a real fight. Hearing this, Gil gets angry and tries to attack them, but one of the boys uses the same technique on her. The other girls tease her about the way she talks, but Gil says that she is trying her best. At the same time, Spencer comes there and asks what they are doing to Gil. Gil sees that Spencer comes in a cool style, but he proves to be useless in a fight. The thugs defeat him in a jiffy. Then they mock him for his name Spencer. Just as they're about to attack Gil, Hoban comes and stops them. The thugs are not afraid of Hoban because Hoban looks quite small to them. All these thugs are first-year students, and Hoban, who is in the second year, is surprised at how big first-year students have become. Hoban doesn't know what to do now. The thug asks if they want to fight. They say that they also have a YouTube channel, and they think that Hoban's fight against Toon was fake. Still,